While America was distracted by the stock market, the Fed, and crypto headlines, a country of 1.4 billion people quietly made the biggest silver move of the decade, and almost nobody in the West noticed. India just became the #1 silver importer on the planet, bigger than China, bigger than any country in history. In a single year, India pulled in over 9,000 metric tons of silver. That's not a trade. That's not a trend. That is a calculated national strategy. And if you're sitting in the US right now, your financial advisor has not told you a single word about it. I'm OG. And today, we are going inside the numbers that Wall Street does not want you to understand. Let's start with the basics, because if you don't understand what's happening in India right now, you cannot understand where silver is going. Silver is not just a shiny metal. It is the most industrially critical commodity on Earth right now. Solar panels, EV batteries, semiconductors, defense electronics, AI infrastructure. Every single technology that the 21st century is being built on requires silver. There is no substitute. There is no replacement. Silver is irreplaceable, and India knows this. Here's what the mainstream financial media is not covering. In 2024, India's silver imports hit a record-breaking high, approximately 9,145 metric tons. For context, that is nearly double what India imported just 2 years prior. This is not a coincidence. This is not a cultural jewelry purchase. India's industrial sector, its solar manufacturing push, and its government-backed infrastructure programs are all demanding silver at levels that are restructuring the global supply chain in real time. Now let's talk price, because this is where it gets real for you as an investor. When silver was trading in the $26 to $28 range in early 2024, most American retail investors were yawning. They were chasing Nvidia. They were chasing Bitcoin. They were chasing AI stocks. Meanwhile, Eastern buyers, India, China, the Middle East, were quietly accumulating physical silver at every single price dip. Every single one. By April 2025, silver crossed $32, then $34, then it pushed toward the $36 range. And now, as we sit here today, the conversations happening in Mumbai, in Delhi, in Chennai, those conversations are about silver at $50, $60, $74, and beyond, not as a fantasy. As a price target backed by real supply and demand math. Here's the math. And this is the part most people skip because it makes them uncomfortable. Global silver demand hit approximately 1.2 billion ounces in 2023. Global silver mine production, around 820 to 840 million ounces. That is a deficit, a structural annual compounding deficit of over 300 million ounces. And that deficit is growing every single year as industrial demand accelerates and mine supply stagnates. Now layer India on top of that. India's demand is not decreasing, it is not flattening, it is exploding. India's solar installation targets alone require silver at a scale that will put enormous pressure on the already stretched global supply chain. The Indian government has committed to 500 gigawatts of renewable energy capacity by 2030. Every gigawatt of solar power requires approximately 5 to 6 metric tons of silver. Do that math. And here is the critical point. The point that changes everything if you are holding dollars in a savings account right now. India is not importing silver because it has extra money to spend. India is importing silver because it understands that the monetary system is shifting. The dollar is losing purchasing power. Inflation is structural, not temporary. And physical silver, real, tangible, allocated metal, is one of the few assets on Earth that cannot be printed, cannot be inflated away, and cannot be frozen in a bank account. India knows something America doesn't. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Let's talk about what's actually driving this. Because India's silver surge didn't happen overnight. It has been building for years, and the West completely missed the signals. In 2022, India imported roughly 4,900 metric tons of silver. In 2023, that number climbed to approximately 6,800 metric tons. And in 2024, it exploded to over 9,400 metric tons. 3 consecutive years of accelerating demand. 3 consecutive years of Western financial media saying absolutely nothing about it. Why? Because Wall Street's business model depends on you staying in their products. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs. The moment you understand what physical silver represents, real money outside the system, their entire revenue model starts to crack. So let's break down exactly where India's silver demand is coming from, because it is not one thing, it is 4 massive forces all hitting at the same time. Force number 1, solar manufacturing. India launched one of the most aggressive solar expansion programs in modern history. Under its national solar mission and subsequent policy frameworks, India is pushing toward 500 gigawatts of installed solar capacity by 2030. Right now, they are at approximately 90 gigawatts. That means India needs to install over 400 more gigawatts of solar panels in the next 5 years. Each gigawatt of solar capacity requires roughly 5 to 6 metric tons of silver for the photovoltaic cells. Run that calculation. That is 2,000 to 2,400 metric tons of silver just from solar every single year for the next 5 years minimum. This demand does not slow down, it accelerates. Force number 2, electronics and semiconductor manufacturing. India is aggressively positioning itself as the next global electronics hub, with Apple, Samsung, and dozens of other manufacturers shifting production out of China and into India. The demand for silver in electronics manufacturing, circuit boards, connectors, switches, batteries, is rising in parallel. Silver is the highest electrically conductive metal on Earth. You cannot build modern electronics without it. Force number 3, jewelry and investment demand. India has a cultural relationship with precious metals that goes back thousands of years. Silver is not just an investment in India. It is savings, it is ceremony, it is generational wealth transfer. When global silver prices dipped in early 2024, Indian retail buyers flooded the market. Physical silver coins and bars sold out across major Indian cities. This demand does not disappear when prices rise. It intensifies, because rising prices validate the purchase decision for the next wave of buyers. Force number 4, monetary hedging. This is the one that most Western analysts completely ignore. India has watched what happened to countries that held too many dollars. It watched Russia's foreign reserves get frozen overnight in 2022. It watched the IMF weaponize financial systems against sovereign nations. India, along with China, the Gulf states, and most of the BRICS bloc, is systematically reducing dollar dependency and increasing hard asset reserves. Silver is part of that strategy. Not all of it, but a growing intentional part. Now here's where it connects directly to your wallet, wherever you're watching this from. When India pulls 9,400 metric tons of silver out of the global market in a single year, that silver does not come back. It goes into solar panels that generate electricity for decades. It goes into electronics that will not be recycled for years. It goes into jewelry vaults and personal savings that will sit untouched for generations. This is called permanent demand destruction from the supply side, and it is exactly what creates the conditions for a historic price breakout. Silver at $32, at $36, at $50. These are not ceiling prices. Based on the supply deficit alone, before you even factor in India's demand surge, analysts at major commodity research firms have modeled silver price targets ranging from $50 to $74 within this cycle, and the West is still sleeping. But not for long. Here's the uncomfortable truth that nobody on financial Twitter, nobody on CNBC, and nobody in your brokerage account newsletter is going to tell you. The average American investor has zero allocated to silver. Zero. According to multiple surveys of U.S. retail investor portfolios, precious metals, gold and silver combined, represent less than 1% of total household investment assets in the United States. Less than 1%. Meanwhile, the average Indian household holds approximately 11% of its net worth in physical precious metals. That gap is not cultural. That gap is informational. And that informational gap is what is about to cost millions of Western investors an extraordinary opportunity. And let's talk about what is happening on the supply side, because demand is only half the story. Global silver mine production has been essentially flat for the past decade. The world's top silver-producing nations, Mexico, Peru, China, Russia, and Australia, are collectively producing between 820 and 850 million ounces per year. That number has not meaningfully grown despite silver prices rising. Why? Because opening a new silver mine takes 7 to 10 years from discovery to production. The capital investment is enormous, the regulatory hurdles are significant, and here is the critical detail. Most silver in the world is not mined as a primary product. Approximately 70 to 75% of all silver mined globally comes as a byproduct of copper, zinc, lead, and gold mining. That means silver supply is not controlled by silver prices. It is controlled by the economics of other metals entirely. You cannot simply mine more silver in response to rising demand. The supply chain does not work that way. This structural supply constraint, combined with India's explosive demand growth, is creating what commodity analysts call a perfect squeeze scenario. Now let's bring in the geopolitical dimension, because this is where the India story gets even bigger. India and the United States have a complex relationship. On the surface, they are strategic partners. But underneath, India has consistently refused to join Western economic pressure campaigns against Russia, against China, against OPEC nations. India abstained on UN resolutions condemning Russia. India continued buying Russian oil at discounted prices, while Western nations paid premium prices for energy. India is playing its own game on the global chessboard, and silver is one of the pieces. Here is something even more significant that happened quietly in late 2024 and into 2025. India began accelerating its bilateral trade agreements with multiple countries. Agreements designed specifically to reduce dollar settlement in commodity trades. India and Russia are now settling significant portions of their oil trade in rupees and rubles. India and several Gulf nations are exploring dirham and rupee settlement frameworks. Every trade deal that moves away from dollar settlement is a deal that incrementally reduces global dollar demand and incrementally increases the appeal of hard assets like silver and gold as neutral reserve stores of value. And now, connect this to what gold has already done. Gold crossed $2,000 per ounce in 2023. It crossed $2,400 in early 2024. By late 2024 and into 2025, gold was trading above $3,000 per ounce, a level that would have seemed impossible to most analysts just 2 years prior. Central banks globally purchased over 1,000 metric tons of gold in both 2022 and 2023, the highest central bank gold buying on record in modern history. The largest buyers? China, India, Turkey, Poland, nations that are deliberately building hard asset reserves outside the dollar system. Now look at the gold to silver ratio. Historically, the gold to silver ratio has averaged between 15 to 1 and 47 to 1 over the past century. Today, that ratio sits at approximately 85 to 1, meaning silver is dramatically underpriced relative to gold by every historical measure. If silver were to simply revert to its historical average ratio of 47 to 1, with gold at $3,000, silver would be priced at approximately $63 per ounce. If the ratio moves to 30 to 1, which has happened before in bull markets, silver at $3,000 gold means a silver price of $100 per ounce. These are not predictions. These are ratio mathematics. And India already ran the numbers. That is exactly why they're buying. That is exactly why their government-linked institutions, their private sector manufacturers, their retail investors, and their central banking system are all moving in the same direction at the same time. The East does not make trillion-dollar commodity bets by accident. They make them because the math works. So let's bring this all together. Because everything we have covered in this video leads to one unavoidable conclusion that you need to sit with before you close this tab. India did not stumble into becoming the world's largest silver importer. This was not an accident of markets. This was not a one-time trade anomaly. This was a deliberate, coordinated, multi-year national strategy executed by a country of 1.4 billion people that has watched the Western financial system very carefully and decided to position itself outside of it. Think about what that actually means. When a country of India's scale makes a sovereign-level bet on silver, importing over 9,400 metric tons in a single year, it is sending a signal to every other nation watching. And those nations are watching. The Gulf states are watching. Southeast Asia is watching. Africa's fastest growing economies are watching. The message is clear. Silver is not a relic. Silver is not a boomer trade. Silver is the industrial backbone of the 21st century economy, and the monetary hedge of the new world order that is forming right now beneath the surface of the mainstream financial narrative. Now let's talk about what this means specifically for you. Because information without action is just entertainment. If you're holding cash in a savings account right now, you need to understand what is happening to that cash in real terms. The Federal Reserve has printed trillions of dollars since 2020. The U.S. national debt has crossed $34 trillion and is accelerating. The purchasing power of the dollar has declined significantly in just the past 4 years. Food costs more, rent costs more, energy costs more, healthcare costs more. This is not a temporary blip. This is a structural monetary debasement that is ongoing, and that will continue regardless of which political party controls Washington. Physical silver, real, allocated, in-your-hand silver, is one of the few assets that exists completely outside that system. It cannot be printed. It cannot be digitally created. It cannot be confiscated through inflation. And right now, it is still priced at levels that represent one of the most asymmetric risk-reward opportunities in the modern commodity market. At $32 per ounce, silver is still below its all-time high of approximately $50 set back in 1980, and again briefly in 2011. Adjusted for real inflation, not the CPI number the government reports, but actual purchasing power decline, silver's inflation-adjusted all-time high is somewhere between $150 and $200 per ounce. That is how undervalued silver is in real monetary terms. That is the gap between where silver is today and where honest mathematics says it should be. And India already did that math. China already did that math. Russia already did that math. The question is, when does the American retail investor do that math? Because here is the reality. When the West finally wakes up to the silver story, when the mainstream financial media starts covering India's demand surge the way they cover tech stocks, the easy gains will already be gone. The physical metal will already be locked away in solar panels. In electronics, in private vaults from Mumbai to Dubai to Shanghai, the supply will be tighter than it has ever been. And the price will reflect a market that moved while most people were watching CNBC tell them everything was fine. This is not fear-mongering. This is not hype. These are numbers. These are facts. These are trends that are already in motion and cannot be reversed. India made its move. The East made its move. Now, the only question that matters is, are you going to make yours? Because sitting on the sidelines while the greatest silver transfer in modern history happens around you is not a neutral position. Inaction is a choice. And in this market, that choice has a price. Do your own research. Talk to a qualified financial advisor. Look at the data with your own eyes. But whatever you do, don't say nobody told you. Invest with logic, not hype. OG out.